What's up, Undertoads? This is Derek from Classic Game Room, and this is a Super Nintendo controller. Actually, it's a Super Pad. But you know, the thing about the Super Nintendo is it came out in the 90s, and in the 90s, you know, just having a controller, that's no damn good. What you needed turbo, and you needed attitude. Everything in the 90s had turbo and attitude. And, you know, there's certainly no turbo here. There's no attitude. These look like M&Ms. There's no attitude. Get out of here, Super Pad. Just get out of here. We need some attitude. We need some turbo. We need this. This is, holy crap, this is Dual Turbo. This is like the 90s times 2. So let's look at this thing. You know, one of the things I like about the Dual Turbo is that it keeps the color scheme of the Super NES intact. Sort of the grays and the darker grays, and then the purple and the lavender. You know, it has the look of an authentic Super Nintendo product, which, you know, not always the case, Super Pad. And, you know, to illustrate the size difference between the Dual Turbo and what an actual Super Nintendo controller, its size would be, is actually really close. And so you can see the Dual Turbo is actually much wider. And it does feel a little strange at first when you expect to have that pretty close, tight, you know, your fingers can tickle each other on the back. You know, that's always a little surprise when you're platforming in Yoshi's Island and you just tickle your finger. But you can't tickle your fingers with this one, though. Look at this. You'd have to be like the Green Giant. Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant. If he played Yoshi's Island, this is what he'd use. The Dual Turbo. So here's the sensor for the Dual Turbo, and it's actually really simple. You just plug it in the front of your console. So here's what this thing looks like actually plugged into the front of your Super Nintendo. And, you know, speaking of how the controller tried to match the look and the aesthetic theme of the Super Nintendo, this thing kind of does the same thing. It looks like it belongs there almost. Looks like, all of a sudden, it looks like your Super Nintendo is a Cyclops, capable of firing a laser. If you're a Nintendo fan looking for sort of a wireless option for your Super Nintendo, I mean, this is an outstanding option. This is a great controller. The only drawback, I mean, this thing eats batteries like you wouldn't believe, so make sure you have some rechargeable AAAs, both for your sanity and the environment, because this thing goes through them like there's no tomorrow. You might say it goes through them at turbo speed. I'll put it on slow. Maybe that'll change it. Well, my apologies to the guy who invented turbo. I'm sure he's not very happy with me after watching this review. I sort of negated his entire existence. But frankly, someone needed to, because, I mean, look. It's not... Nothing happens.